Hello, everyone. We are going to start another Airbyte demo hour. I'm Marcos. I'm a user success engineer at Airbyte. Today, we are going to show how to use Airbyte with Airflow on GCP, and I hope to um, guide and help you new users that are trying to test Airbyte or Airflow, and I hope this can be useful. We are using the live storm, so we have the chat here. So hello, Douglas from Brazil. Also, I'm from Brazil too. There is some polls and questions, so maybe I'm gonna use that. Today, I suggest not to participate into the presentation because I'm going to follow all the show for you. But if you have any questions, please send on the chat and feel free to ask. Right now, the goal of this presentation is really to guide new users that probably already have some touch with Airflow and maybe are testing Airbyte and use GCP in his company. And the idea is to show how to connect these two different projects and maybe has some internal validation of the Airbyte. So furthermore, if someone has questions, please send a chat. I'm gonna look at, but right now I'm going to start presentation. Oops, just a second. So the idea is to really discuss when use Airbyte, when you need to use Airbyte with Airflow. So here's this a very simple diagram that I can show to you. If you have like HubSpot and Google Ads, maybe the Poke API, this is a very cool source we have. And you want to bring all these data to your destination, in your company. Uh, you can use this with Airbyte, but what happened is every source and destination is going to work separately because runs with different scheduler. So this big query that I showed to you here is the same big query for all sources. But if you want to use the data with HubSpot and Google Ads, uh, in your like downstream analytics can be problematic because the HubSpot can run on like 5 a.m. and the Google Ads run only 10 a.m. So maybe your analytics team can have some problems analyzing the data between different sources. Uh, in some case, you can use like a custom transformation. If you have your team is only looking at the Google Ads data, you can add this in Airbyte and you can leverage that for your analytics team. The problem at this current moment, when you have a larger project and you need to maybe with the HubSpot data, Google Ads, here's example like a Facebook marketing, and you need to run like a machine learning algorithm and you need to ensure that all these source data resides in the BigQuery. Uh, right now, it's not possible to give this scheduler time with Airbyte or like a trigger or a webhook notification. So you need to use Airflow to handle that. So Airflow is going to orchestrate and having the DAGs where it's waiting for the sources to complete, and after complete, trigger the next step in your workflow. So this is the main difference that you maybe in your company when you are uh, researching and looking, oh, when I need to use Airbyte, when I need to use Airflow or the both. This is a common use that you may be facing. So probably going to start bringing data from sources to destination. So this is the same destination, just to be clear. And when you need to have the guarantee that every source is complete, and you have like a post hoc or a post job running, so you need to use Airflow to do that. Furthermore, what I made right now, I deploy a Google Composer on our GCP. So this is the very standard Google Composer on GCP installation. So I didn't change anything. I didn't install right now because it took a while to set up the environment. So what you need to do when you want to use Airflow with Airbyte on GCP, you need to go into the PyPy package and you need to install the Apache Airflow providers Airbyte. Airbyte is a community provider on Airflow. So this is official package on the Airflow project. So installing this, you are going to be able to use the operator on the Airflow and run your DAGs, your Airbyte sync using a Airflow DAG. Also, I already have a GCP Airbyte install. What I made was running this documentation here. Is very easy to follow, and I install Airbyte on GCP. And if you don't use Airflow on GCP, but you also want to try, we have this amazing documentation here, how to set up Airflow with Airbyte operator. But this is using the Airflow on your local machine or an instance, and you need to install Airflow for yourself. So let's go back here. So right now I have this Airflow and I installed my package. So when I set up the package for Airbyte, it's gonna restart Airflow. It took a while too, but you can do that in yourself. To access the Airflow web server, GCP is very nice. You can only click here and you're gonna have access to the Airflow web UI. Let's show here. So when I create my Airflow instance on GCP, I choose to have like 3 nodes. So one probably is the master and 2 workers. But in Airflow, you have like the scheduler and other nomenclatures. So maybe can different from this, but we have these 3 machines for Airflow, and I have my Airbyte Marcos. That is my my VM with Airbyte. So what I can show you is right now I access my instance locally, so I can set up the source and destination. This is the last command on our documentation to SSH tunnel the instance on GCP. And after I made this locally, I can access the instance with localhost. So this is not localhost, I accessing the virtual machine, and I already create 3 sources here, like the Google Ads, HubSpot, and Poke API. And I already have the BigQuery destination. And I create the 3 connections, so we can run them manually, so just to check and see that everything is okay. Our goal here is to create our DAG right now. So if you want to follow for yourself, this is gonna show you creating a very simple DAG. And with that, we are going to create our DAG. In our example here, we are going to do this example. Uh, sorry, I didn't see the message. Where did I lost the connection? Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. My internet maybe sometimes is not the best one. Oh my God, I was talking a lot. Okay, coming back. So this is the airflow deck. This is the example, and what do you want to we are going to do right now? Sorry. Right now you gonna see, right? Sorry about that. So our goal is to create this tag here on Airflow. We have this locally Airbyte instance, like the Google Ads, HubSpot, and Poke API. They are running on a manual frequency, and we can schedule with Airbyte scheduler, but our goal is to wait for these three connections complete and then run our machine learning algorithm or any post process that we have. So right now we have this only DAG on Airflow, and we are going to bring our local DAG. Just showing to you maybe quickly, I don't know if I already passed for this, but the Poke API, the HubSpot, and to the Google Ads to BigQuery is using the Airbyte trigger sync operator. You can read this in our documentation. And this task on the Airflow is running just a simulation of a machine learning algorithm. This ID here, the connection ID, you can find on here on the connection page. You enter the connection, and this ID is the connection ID you need to use to trigger the job. So our goal right now is to add a deck. So to do this on Airflow on the GCP, you need to go into this folder. This is like a storage bucket, and you can upload a file. And I have this tag I made, I show to you. So we upload this file. We can and go back into Airflow web UI, and we should see after a while that if okay, yeah. So we have two because probably I had another one. So I'm gonna remove that, and this is the tag I bring. So we can see like a graph and see that this process is similar that I showed to you. What we need to do right now is create the connection. So from our tag here, we have this Airbyte connection, and we need to create that. So we are going to create, that is the connection type, so we can call Airbyte connect because needs to match the info there. And the port is Airbyte always use. You can change that, but right now the default is 8000. Oh, and I need to only here, the host. We need to go into the VM instance, and we are going to see here the Airbyte Marcos. We can get the external IP and paste here. So we create our Airbyte connection. So this is informing Airflow to use this host and this port to trigger the job. Right now, if you trigger a DAG again, we are going to face a problem. So I'm going to go through this, showing how you need to proceed to execute and run successfully. So we can follow the logs here. And so what Airflow is doing is a very simple connector. So it's sending a post command to this endpoint on the Airbyte. So we can see that the external IP and the port is using here. So, but right now the problem is that the Airflow instance doesn't have access to connect to Airbyte instance on the GCP. So going to throw an error, I hope so. Let's see here. Okay. So we need to wait to hit the timeout. So maybe. Just let me check here. Okay, I think everything is okay with LiveStar. So here we got our logs. And what's happening is that we can connect to the Airbyte instance. So what you need to do is create a firewall between the Airflow and the Airbyte instance, so you're gonna be able to trigger the job. So you need to go into the Google VPC network and firewalls and create a firewall role. I'm gonna call this Airbyte Airflow. This needs to be the ingress, and we allow the match. So I'm gonna select the service account. So I create my Airbyte instance using this service account called Airflow. And we want to allow only a specific IP range. And here we have the 3 machines from the Airflow. We are going to paste that. And we want to allow only the protocol as an 8000. So now we create this one, and we are going to be able to access. Let's try again and see if. So right now we're going to see that we was able to submit the job on the Airbyte server. And if you go here we see that on our Google Ads is running a job that was not triggered by myself, and this was made by Airflow. And we can follow the DAG here and see that for there's PG, but probably this is HubSpot, and we running these two in parallel, so we need to wait them to finish, and after that, only after that is going to trigger the next step. So it was very quickly, so we see that this tree was successfully, and then we run the train ML algorithm. We can see here that all our data was transferred to BigQuery. So we have this one here with the Pokemon. Let's see. So we have the HubSpot campaigns here also, and probably we have the Google Ads report too. I think that's it for today. I don't know if someone has questions about the process. Let me stop sharing. Sorry, was something messy. Live demonstrations are not easy. Oh, sure. The video was gonna be recorded and I'm gonna submit on the YouTube, so you can replay and get the script. Yes, Douglas is correct. Right now, the external IP for both of the machines are not static. And this is this process that I demonstrate to you is not the best way. Probably gonna use like Terraform to handle that and connect the machines, but this is probably much more advanced. And right now, my idea is to show people that are interested in Airbyte and maybe Airflow, the difference between them. And when you need to use Airbyte and maybe use Airflow, in a production grade, you probably need to have like a load balancer, use a better security to access both machines. And yeah, you are correct. So this is probably only useful to test, and after that, use for production. The questions from Andy. We release a notification feature for failures, and also you have like a notification for success. So it's quite achieving what Airflow can do. Every job you run and successfully, you're gonna be able to send a message to your post process. Other things we are really working is the CDK, improving how create custom connectors, and also the normalization. We probably gonna focus to, right now this is a full refresh, so every time you run a normalization on your destination is a full refresh, so bringing all the data again. And we are trying to create as incremental, so we're gonna reduce these resources and compute power. So if anyone here is not on Slack, in our Slack channel, please enter our Slack and use Airbyte. You can reach me on Slack or post on the channels. I hope you like. If someone has questions, ideas to bring into the demo hours, you want to see some features, please let me know about that. Yes, it's possible. On the Airbyte side, you can configure on the incremental or the full refresh. I select only full refresh for now, but it's totally possible to select the incremental. And Airflow is going to, at this stage, only work as a scheduler, so a more complex scheduler for Airbyte. And you can configure to run on specific time or wait for a job to finish or run parallel jobs. So that's the go to use Airflow with Airbyte right now. Thanks for the question, Larry. Uh, no, you can run in parallel. It's not a problem to trigger and have parallel jobs of Airbyte running. So as I showed to you on this demonstration, had three different jobs on Airbyte running. I think right now maybe on the Composer is only able to run uh, a single task on Airflow, but you can configure that to run on parallel and have like different, maybe 30 process running. The problem probably gonna be is that if you run like 15 different jobs on Airbyte, you need to scale your instance of Airbyte to handle running 15 parallel jobs. Yes, it's totally for the same connection. No, because Airbyte runs in a serial. So if you trigger a sync on Airbyte and you trigger again, it's gonna wait for finish the sync. What you can have is different connection and use the same source and destination and trigger three parallel jobs, but you maybe can face like some limitations if you are trying to ingest data from APIs like HubSpot. If you have like 5 parallel jobs, you can reach the quota and you can bring more data to your destination. But if you are bringing for like Postgres or a database that can handle parallel connections, you can create different connections with the same source and same destination and trigger them in parallel. Thanks, everyone. We reached our time here. I hope this was helpful to you. Sorry that was something messy showing and was cutting. Please send messages on Slack. I hope you like that. Douglas and people who ask for the video are going to submit on the YouTube and send on the Slack channel, or you can access our YouTube channel to see the videos. So that's it. Thank you. Douglas gonna make the final question. Okay. Yes. Bye, everyone.